and we have good 33 participants as of now, logins. And I'm sure there are more participants because each one of us will have 2-3 participants in each of these logins. So with that note, I take this opportunity. I'm Vidyaranya Kolipal. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this sixth webinar as part of our Udyoga Deepika program. I would like to mention, this is happening very successfully with the support from many of you in this group. A lot of seniors from our Sabha has, supporting us for this particular program, which is really is a motivation for us and encouragement for us. And that's how we are able to run this program successfully. And during this lockdown period, we have tried to increase the number of programs. So in the month, you have noticed that in the last 6 weeks, we had, this is the third program, right? So that's something which we are happy to share that. And we tried look at as relevant topics possible and best speakers from our own Sabha or from our Sthanika group. You all have witnessed, very successful discussions in the last 3-4 sessions, starting from Dr. Sandeep Shastri, Shailaja Shastri, and then from BC Rao and Pradeep Kumar. And today we have one more, our own Sabha member, who is a young, energetic advocate, who is always seen in our Sabha functions or Bangalore Sabha activities every time, and who doesn't require much of an introduction. So today we are going to discuss, legal rights and liabilities during and post COVID-19. So while we were talking to a couple of members or our own community members, we come to know that there are few concerns we have in terms of what different actions companies or organizations may take, what would be the impact on this COVID, because a lot of rules, regulations, or the policies are getting changed, both from organization side as well as from from the government side. So what is that going to impact us immediately, or what is that in the long term it may have some impact? Or how do we handle such instances was the concern which or the points which came to our mind. That's when we thought some information around legal aspect would help us to be clear about a few areas, and that's why we have taken this as a topic for the day. Rakesh, can you help to mute everyone? Okay. So I will take this opportunity again to introduce Mr. Harish as a responsibility. Otherwise, most of this in this group know him. Harish is originally hailed from Marpalli, from Udupi. He was born and brought up at Shivamogga. He started his profession as an advocate in the year 2002, and since then he's practicing legal profession in the High Court of Karnataka, Bangalore, and many other courts. He's also in the Sabha committee since more than 7 years, which you all know. And I'm sure many of you would have interacted him and know him how active and one among all of us in the all the activities happening in the Sabha. With that very short introduction, I will invite Harish to take over. And as per our regular practice, we can raise the questions or any doubts on the chat window during the session. And at the end of the session, you will be allowed to ask questions directly, and we can have a response from our learned advocates, as well as we have HR practitioners, and as well as a lot of senior leaders from the corporates. So over to you, Harish, and welcome for this program, and thank you for accepting this invitation. And also, I know this is a little tough for you at this moment, because there is not many clarity that we got for every questions what we have today, but I'm sure you would have tried best to prepare for these multiple questions and to going to present to us. Thank you so much, and welcome you again. Over to you, Harish. Harish,
Harish,
you are on mute.
speaking in mute. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vidyaranya. Hello.
Yes, we can hear now. It's clear.
Yes. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you once again from my side. It is an opportunity for me to express my mind and also speak about the today's subject, which is a little bit unique because the subject, as you all know, that it says that legal rights and liabilities during COVID and post-COVID. It is very difficult to say something whether will we get any such a situation to say that post-COVID, because with today's scenario, the COVID will not be eradicated. It will be there for quite some period, and it is going to bring a lot of changes in our lifestyles and also in our system also. ಬಹುಶಃ ಈ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದೇನಿದೆ, ಈ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಟಚ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್. ಸ್ಪರ್ಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬಲವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಸ್ತ್ರ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ. In the first instance, I would like to say that ಈ ಮಗು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ, ಮಗು ತಾಯಿಯ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, ತಾಯಿ ಆ ಗರ್ಭ ಧರಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಂತರ ಆ ಮಗುವನ್ನ ತೆಗೆಯೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಹಕ್ಕು ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ that unborn child will get the right. ಈ ರೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟು ಬಿ ಬಾರ್ನ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಕಾನೂನು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಏನು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 14, 15, 16 ನಂತರ ಏನು ಕಾನೂನು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಆ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಆರಭ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಚಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 51A ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ್ಲೇನೆ ಆ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಒಂದು ಫಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಡೆಯೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನ ಚಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅವುಗಳು ಸಿಗದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಏನು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದೇನಿದೆ, ಕೊರೋನಾ ವೈರಸ್ಸಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ದಿನ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂತಹ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ವರ್ಲ್ಡಿನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಅಂತಹದ್ದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಬಂತು. ಇದ್ದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ತಮಾಷೆಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತು, ಮತ್ತೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಂಜಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತರ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ದಿನ ಕಳೆದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫುಡ್ಡಿನ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಈ ತರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಯ್ತು. ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಯೋಚನೆಗಳು ಬಂತು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಭಾರತ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹಾಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಮೂಲಕವಾಗ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೂಲಕವಾಗ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣುವಂತಹದ್ದೇನು, ವೆದರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲಯಬಲ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ದಟ್, if not, what is going to happen? Whether earlier we had several rights, like we could have moved, we can easily move from one place to another place within the India. There was no restrictions, there was no license, there was no pass. But all of a sudden, the administration is telling that you are not supposed to move from your house. It was very strange. Only in our through our elders, we heard something that during 1960, 1970, there were some restrictions for movement of rice from one district to another district. ಹೀಗೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಅದೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ that we are not supposed to move from our house. So that is the change. Under these circumstances, what is the right which we had? What is that our liability we are having through several contracts, several duties and other things? What happens to that? ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದೊಂದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣುವಂತಹದ್ದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಆಪತ್ತು ಬಂದಾಗ the government will take all the actions which are required to safeguard our country, safeguard our citizens. ಹಾಗೆ ಎಪಿಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಈ ಎರಡು ಕಾನೂನುಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬಲವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ಅಧಿಕಾರದ ಮೂಲಕ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ಡ್ several restrictions ಅಥವಾ the guidelines that how one should conduct himself during this period. ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ the government has said everyone should wear the mask. ಹಾಗೆ social distancing ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು, ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ವಿತೌಟ್ touching others, without spreading any dangerous things from our body. All these things were stated in those guidelines. ಆ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರಹದ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ರಿಟನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್. ನಿಜವಾಗಿಯೂ even these restrictions were made, some group of persons or some community, they did not follow it. At that stage, the government felt that some stringent action has to be taken. For that, a new ordinance has been passed, wherein it has been said that if no cooperation has been done with if they are not cooperating with the corona warriors who are fighting day and night to stop this spreading over this coronavirus, the serious action, like it will be treated as an offense, and there will be 7 years the jail. This kind of punishment has been imposed. Then only in certain area they could control the action of these groups or the movement of these groups. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ತರಹದ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಹಂತದವರೆಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಏನು ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ಯಾವುದೂ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಲಸಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎವ್ರಿ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಟೇಕನ್. ಈವನ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್, ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಏನು ಒಂದು ರೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸೆವೆರಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಾನು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಓನರ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದಿ ಹೌಸ್, ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ರೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಬಂಧನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕೆಲಸಗಳ ಇನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಇನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಚೌಕಟ್ಟಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 142 ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕು, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಮನಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಮ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಬಟ್ he has not paid that money to me, so I have some right to take action against him. Already some time has been passed. As you know, the 3 years is the limit. Already 2 and 11 months are over. Only 1 month is left out. Now I have to take actions, but all of a sudden there is a closure order. Even the courts have been closed. Everything, nothing is working. Under that circumstances, what happens to my right? ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತರವಾಗಿ ದ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ನೌ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನಿನ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನಿದೆ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ನೌ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟಿಕಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಹೀಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳದು ಕೂಡ ಹಾಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ನಾವು 138 ಚೆಕ್ ಬೌನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ಗಳಿರಬಹುದು. ಯೂಶುವಲಿ in our way of life, every person will always come to face these kind of problems. ಒಬ್ಬ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮನ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. he has supplied the goods, he has received a check, but he has not paid the amount. Now what has to be done? All these things, for all these kind of purpose, the limitation has been saved. ಒಂದು ಸಲಿ ಈ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗ ವೆಕೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಲ್ ದಿ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೂ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಲಿಟಿಗೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ, ದೋ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೌ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್, ಬಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಸೇವ್ಡ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಹೂಎವರ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್, whoever is they have to take action, they can take immediately after the closure period. ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಈಗ 1ನೇ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಇಂದ 4ನೇ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ರೀತಿಯ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈಗ 4ನೇ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಏನು they have given the concessions, and they have allowed the persons to do the duties. Moreover, ಈಗ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಇವುಗಳಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಈ 33% ಅಷ್ಟು ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಒಂದು ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ವರ್ಕ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳೇನಿದೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನು ಬಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳೇನಿದೆ, ಇವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ದಿನದಿಂದ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಬಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. See, until and unless we do our duties, we will not get the fruit of our rights. That is most important, and one should know it. As the government introduced that Arogya Setu, that app, everyone should have it, because it is easy to track in case of the person found is getting infected in due course, or whatever it is, to know where exactly he has traveled, and who are all the persons came near to him, or the possible victims of that that corona. So it is easy to find it. So these kinds of measurements have been taken by the government. the duty of the citizen is to subscribe those kind of app and registered himself or themselves in that, and so that make easy for the government to take action. At the same time, the government has been saving several problems of these migrants. ಈ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ they were there in foreign countries for study purpose, for working purpose, so for several purpose. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಈ ಕರೋನಾ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ತಾಯ್ನಾಡು ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತದೆ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಆಂಕ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ನೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಜನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರುವಂತಹವರು ಹೀಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್, we are very religiously followed these whatever the restrictions imposed on us, and we cooperated with the government. But because of these migrants, unnecessarily we have to face several problems. Intahadakku kuda government has made it very clear that as and when they come, they should be kept under quarantine. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫಾರಿನ್ ಇಂದ ಬರುವಂತಹವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಸಮ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫಾರಿನ್, and in initial examination they were found to be negative, the result were found to be negative, and immediately they were allowed to go to their home. And because of that, later we came to know that they have been found with positive, and by the time they have infected so many other persons of their family or the persons connected to their business or something like that. ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಟು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿತ್ ದ symptoms, notice, whenever you notice a person with the symptoms of flu and other things, immediately to report to 104 or something like that. ಹೀಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತರದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈ ಕೊರೋನಾ ವೈರಸ್ ನ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್. ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ issued by the government, they have to follow this without there being any without there being any kind of negligence. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ತರಹದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವರಿ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಆದ್ರೆ there are certain contracts and certain arrangements that has to be followed as per the understanding which you have entered into. For example, ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಈಗ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ನಾನು ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಓನರ್ಗಳ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದಾ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಪೇ ದಿಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಕೊರೋನಾ and there is already a government order ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನಗಳಿಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್, ಅದು ನಾನು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಆ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥವ್ರು ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ತರಹದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇವಲ ಒಂದು ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೊರತು ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ ಇವರ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ it is always binding for these persons and they have to follow this and there cannot be an exception. However, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಈಗ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಓನರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಲ್ ಎ ಕೇಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಮೈಸಸ್ ವೆಕೇಟೆಡ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ಏನು ರೈಟ್ ಓನರಿಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಕೊರೋನಾ ಏನು ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೇಫ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನೋ, ದಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಈ ತರಹದ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಲೋನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್, there is a law which says that if you are not paying the installment as you agreed for continuously 3 months, then it will be considered, that loan will be considered as NPA. For that, the government has issued a guideline saying that that kind of the implementation of law has been stayed, andre that has been postponed. ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. There are cases being filed in Supreme Court also stating that merely postponing the installment is not sufficient. You have to say that that interest for that 3 months on that whole amount, that has to be relaxed, it has to be exempted ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. It will take few months to see that what will be the decision of the Supreme Court on these aspects. But as on today, there are no such law on the point saying that yes, this is the thing, you need not to worry or you need not to pay or whatever it is. There are a lot of confusions in the guidelines or in the circular or whatever it is. Therefore, nothing has come in the form of an order or in the form of law to safeguard or to exempt all these things. And we have to wait and we have to pay the rents and other things. But landowners, they cannot force upon the tenants to get the rents. These are the usual doubts and problems which one face in their routine life. So I thought it would be helpful for you, so that I'm just explaining it. ಈ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯರ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಂದಾಗ there are different kinds of law which are applicable for these areas. For example, payment of gratuity act, payment of wages act, industrial dispute acts, ಈ ತರಹದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಿದೆ. ಅದು it is applying to different kind of industries or ಅಥವಾ ಶಾಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೀಗೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. For example, the chairman of the National Disaster Management Authority, they have directed the government of India to say that you should direct all the owners of these industries to pay the wages for their workers. And adu in full ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತು. But again, it is only for the workers of these small industries. ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. 100 ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, 18,000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ which are there to apply these circular. I think in today's paper, all of you have come across that the Honorable Supreme Court has stayed that notification also. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯವರು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಕಾನೂನು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಕಾನೂನಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹಣ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅರ್ಧ ಹಣ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕ ಏನು ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ವರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಅನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್. those facilities have not been given now. What happens to that ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಕೊಡಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕೇಳುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ again you have to undergo the same process what you had earlier. You have to file a case if you are coming with under the scope of Industrial Disputes Act. You have to file a representation. Thereafter they will give the certificate and the action will be taken against the industry. ಹೀಗೆ ಸೊ ಈ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ಗಳು, ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ಗಳು ಈ ತರದ್ದಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್, I think you have seen most of the orders have got a simple clause like within by giving 2 months notice the employee can be terminated. Hage they may pay you the salary but they put you on 2 months notice and thereafter they may remove you also. Under that circumstances there is no such kind of what you say the protection to say that you should continue to give my to take my service ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. And in most of the contracts and other things there will be a clause called as force majeure. It is called act of God. In some of the contracts it will be there. Whether the contractor can invoke that clause and thereby they avoid their liabilities ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಕೂಡ it is also in it is not clear. Again it is debatable. It has to be tested in the courts because act of God ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಇದು ಕರೋನಾ ವೈರಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದು act of God ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್. Otherwise it cannot be considered as act of God. But due to coronavirus the government has taken certain action. The lockdown has been ordered. Literally the people were ordered to be at home, and this could be one of the reasons to say that I could not perform my contract. ಆ ತರದ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು we may take some action under that clause and say that we are not liable to pay the amount or we are not liable to perform the contract or whatever it is. Again it is case to case basis. We have to see. There is no such general applications or general order for these kind of cases. Therefore as earlier I have been told that certain questions have been asked. Based on that I have said I have given my lecture on that point only. But if at all any specific questions are there, that can be verified and answered. I hope I just conveyed a little bit so that because it is a vast subject, I don't know how to cover and made a representation of that. So I tried my level best. So if at all any questions are there, I can answer that.
Thank you so much, Harish. I mean, this has been really exhaustive, and we can understand legal aspect is too vast, so you cannot touch from one corner to and close that and I finish the entire topic here. So each one of us will have our own points, and and the law will be applicable as case to case basis, right? So yes. We will open this up for questions. On the chat window, I have one question. So I'm not very sure whether you are able to see that question. Otherwise, I'll read it for you.
Yeah, I'm not able to. Yeah, please
okay.
Go ahead.
So is this COVID-19 has been declared as a force majeure period by the government for all purposes?
No, there is no such order.
Okay.
Harish Avare, namaskara. BC Rao.
Namaste.
One question, somewhere I saw that Maharashtra government is trying to, take over all the private hospitals. Can they do that?
Yeah, certainly they can. Only for this COVID purpose, they can take temporarily, and they use that hospital for the purpose of treating the COVID patients. or any other the related purpose. And that has been that can be done here also, provided they think in that line. And in most of the places they did it also, wherever they find it is difficulty for taking care of these COVID patients in government hospitals and other places.
Thank you.
That power they got under the National Disaster Management Act and also Epidemic Disease Act. Under that they can exercise their power.
Okay, thank you.
ಹರೀಶ್ ಅವರ, ರಾಜೇಶ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಈಗ people are coming from outside state or outside countries and coming, and they are supposed to undergo quarantine, and probably they will be put in different hotels or somewhere. Now whose job is it to pay for that facility? Is it individual responsibility or it is government?
See, this is there is a one circular, the guidelines from Ministry of Home Affairs. They have given the directions how this has to be handled. Based on the direction, the government has made it very clear that there are three options. One is the one he is coming from foreign or outside the state has to agree for quarantining himself in any hotel identified by the state or the center, where they have to pay the amount as fixed by the government. If they are not interested or they are not ready to pay that amount, the government itself has made an arrangement in several chowdhuries and several schools and hostels to keep these persons under quarantine. So they have to undergo under quarantine in those places.
Okay.
If not, they have to go back wherever they have come from.
Okay.
Okay. Harish, there was one question yesterday asked by one of our members. Now that those who are staying in or residing in the foreign countries have been arranged to travel back to India. So when they come back, government is asking them to stay in a specific place for 14 days, right? So is it mandatory that such travelers have to stay in their specified places? Certainly. Or okay, so are they allowed to
No.
to go home and stay quarantined on self quarantine?
Okay. There is no such option has been given now, because as you aware, when the first time they declared the lockdown, several people they came and they said that and they were allowed to stay at their home, but they did not follow it, and due to that also several problems were faced later, and they were the carriers of this coronavirus. Therefore, the government has decided not to allow such persons to stay at their home, and they have to undergo either from the institutional places or government places.
Okay, thank you. We also have question from Santosh Rao. He has typed it on chat window, but I would request Santosh Anna to go ahead and ask it.
Arsham, namaskara. So, thank you very much for your very good valid inputs.
Thank you.
The question is, now if you see many state governments, they're making a lot of changes in say labor laws and holding the implementation of the provisions of these laws itself. Yes. Right. So will this be legally okay? Because these are the central acts. The provision pertains to central, whereas they are not state rules. Right.
No. Come back once again. I couldn't.
Many state governments,
please,
they are holding the implementation of the central labor acts. Right? Yes. For example, UP or Gujarat.
Correct.
Right? So, but these acts are central acts.
Correct.
Right. But they are not the state rules, which is made for the central acts.
Yes.
So legally, to what extent state governments can do this? Will it be?
See, though it is a central act, there will be a provision for the states to make their own rules for certain provisions or whatever the provisions there. For that, they can make their own rules. This kind of possibility, these kind of arrangements are made in our legal system when that subject is state and center. Therefore, certain states already have said that these laws, say for that matter, the Industrial Disputes Act, the certain provisions are not applicable for 3 years. By that, they want to keep that industry from out of this subject, out of this act, and that is possible, and that have been tested, and that has been implemented also on earlier occasions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Harish, there is one more question. This is more to do with work from home arrangements, what all the companies have given so far.
Okay.
Now that government is allowing these corporates to have 33% of their workforce working from their offices.
Correct.
So now, if office asks me to someone to go to office, all right, or the company asks them to go to office, and if he has his own apprehension not to go there for different reasons, specifically for reason worries, or maybe their parents are forcing not to travel right now, or many other reasons. So can he say that no, I do not want to travel, and in such case, is that company can force the employee to come to office, or what is the stand on that?
Certainly, it will not be the choice of an employee to say that due to corona and other things, I am not ready to come to the office or something like that. It is again for the company to see that all the precautions have been taken, and that proper arrangements have been made, so that they can avoid any kind of infection being contracted or whatever it is. Therefore, if the company demands that the concerned employee has to come to the office and work, and that circumstances, the employee is bound by that, and certainly he can request whatever telling about the circumstances under which he is. Based on that, it can be taken into consideration. But in law, it cannot be said that he has a right to stay at home and work.
But does he, just to add on that, does he has the right to ask for arrangements to be made?
Certainly in that is the reasonable arrangements, like because if you allow any person to say that to say that okay, arrangement is whether proper or not, if he is not interested, he may say that whatever the arrangement is being made is not proper. So whatever the government follows, those the arrangements can be followed by the company also, and it will be considered as a reasonable arrangement, and under such circumstances, the employee is bound to follow it. Hello.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you.
Yeah.
I think you have answered that. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions from the audience? Okay.
I don't know whether I okay.
ಹರೀಶಣ್ಣ,
ಹಾ,
ಈಗ ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯನ್ನು ಕಿತ್ತಾಕಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ?
ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ
ಕೆಲಸ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಿತ್ತಾಕಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಕಂಪನಿಯಿಂದ?
ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡದೇನೆ? ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡದೇನೆ ಕಿತ್ತು ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ, ಫಾರ್ there is an appointment order already. Okay. In that appointment order, they have said that how that
ಕೊರೋನಾಗೆ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶ್ಚನ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕೊರೋನಾ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ,
ಕೊರೋನಾ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಫಾರ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 days ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪೇಡ್ ಫುಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ as far as the April thing, the month is concerned, most of the companies they have paid 1/4 or half of that amount. Hello.
ಓಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಈ ತರಹದ ಒಂದು ಈ ಲಾಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆ ಲಾಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು the employee whether he has a right to question it ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಈ ತರ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾರಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೊರೋನಾ ಬಂತು ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆತರ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು, my entire business was depending upon these kind of things, and now because of corona we don't have any business, and there is no necessity of taking any service from you. Therefore I am following the contract and giving you 1 month notice or 2 months notice anta heli, following that contract he can ask the employee to resign or remove or whatever that he can follow.
ಹರೀಶ್ ಅವರೇ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಹೋಮ್. If something happens to the employee at home, is the employer responsible?
No, again it is not. Again we have to see for what reason that thing has occurred. See, suppose while working only he has got heart attack. Hello?
Yeah, I am listening.
While working, he got heart attack. Again, we have to consider that it is during the work. But other things, that cannot be considered as the thing which has happened during the work.
But if the employee starts demanding, see, look here, you have not spending the expenditure. I have to spend for electricity, I have to spend for internet. There are a lot of additional thing at home. Does the employee have a right to demand from the company?
Certainly it is.
Company is making the money.
Correct. See, for earning he has to make, in that case for to wear the dress also we should demand money from the company. No, that is not correct. But reasonable, see now how the companies were providing the transportation charges earlier.
Yes.
That charge was considered as a part of his remuneration and paying in different under different heading. In the same fashion, the companies also can think about that and pay some amount towards the electricity or something like that under some kind of head. But whether it is a right of a person, I don't think that it cannot be said that it's a right of a person. It is an arrangement between the company and employee.
One question direct to you. Do you think that after this COVID we are going to live with this? The lawyers are going to be very busy because you will get a lot of such.
No, I don't think so, because in most of the cases what happens, see, the people will be they are facing some legal hurdles in getting 1 month salary, 2 month salary or something like that. For that it is very difficult to take legal action. But in large scale where contracts were made and these things are there, certainly some kind of work we are expecting because by nature those contracts will be perished and one of the parties will be suffered. All these things will be there, but in legal system it will not go much or it will not go down. In between, that work will be there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. We have one question on chat window.
Yes.
This is from Kusuma Harikar, and she's asking, this is a little different from what we have been discussing so far. Can schools charge additional fees due to additional facilities for COVID prevention? Now, in case if the school starts opening and if they arrange for the separate vehicles or something like that, whatever the new facilities, can they start charging extra?
Yeah, certainly it is a very possible thing one can expect after these lockdown and other things. Already we have been seeing this in hospitals. The private hospitals, they are charging double for treating any other diseases. So like that in private schools, they may start saying that we are providing more staffs and more facilities and other things. And as far as the government is concerned, the government also in several areas like they are charging a COVID tax to cope up with the expenditure what they have incurred here. Certainly it is possible.
Okay, Thank you so much.
But
I think
question is, are they entitled to ask that question? I mean,
See now, see presently there is no the such things have been tested. Even otherwise, the private schools have been permitted to charge on different heads on different things, where the parents of the students have been obliging. So here also they will say on different head that they are giving this service and they are taking the fees. So certainly it can be. They have the right to demand
okay.
because
So
they are providing the service.
okay. So in connection to the same question, there is one more question. What if parents are not comfortable to send kids to school during these situations? I mean, it's
Certainly
all
they can keep
futuristic.
their child at home. There is a possible that they can follow that home school. It is already legal, and they can admit their child for exams of 10th, second year PUC, and etc. And it is not compulsory that they have to go to the school.
I think the more relevant question would be if someone decides that for this year he doesn't send the kid to school, but next year he wants to, he is ready to forego 1 year. Next year he wants to send it to the same class. Will he be entitled for, because he would have paid the advance or donation?
No, that is not available, because you have paid the fees saying that you will come to the school for that particular period. If you are not able to go there, it is you will be at fault.
Okay.
ಹರೀಶ್, ಒಂದು
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬಂದ ಇದು ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಲೋಕಲ್ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಮಂಟಪನ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೆ ಕೀ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದು ವರ್ಬಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಹತ್ರ. ಆಗ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಚೌಲ್ಟ್ರಿನ ಅವರು ಹಾಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದಾ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ that is what I said, the government has got more power under the provisions of the National Disaster Management Act and Epidemic Diseases Act ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಗೈಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಪವರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಈಚ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಲೂಕ್ ತಹಸೀಲ್ದಾರ್ನ ಅಥವಾ BBMP ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ದೇ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. And they get the power to demand any place for the purpose of keeping the food articles or anything, or quarantining the persons and all those things. They get the power.
ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ್ದು ನೋಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. In this connection, personally I have filed one case. Yesterday it was heard by the Chief Justice of Karnataka, where I have questioned the very same act of the government, where they demanded the chowtries and schools and other places for quarantining the persons who will be airlifted from foreign countries. So that I have questioned it. I have raised several points that they should not do it. So the court has asked the one question, that you have to tell how these people have to be taken care. So in that way the court did not agree to interfere and say anything on this, saying that it is a policy decision of the government, and we have to leave this to the government to do it, and we cannot interfere. So the point is that suppose in a chowltry you are using it for some other persons, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೇಷನ್. In certainly we have a right to inform the authorities that it is already occupied and we cannot vacate and hand over this. Under that circumstances, it is for the department to take action. If they insist, then we can question it on different contexts. But if it is vacant, we are liable to allow the authority to use it.
ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನೋ
those things, properties and other things, all the
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರೇ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಗತ್ತಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಕ್ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರೋ ವಾಚ್ಮನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿನೋ ಯಾರನ್ನೋ ಅವರೇ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ವಾಚ್ಮನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಹತ್ರ ಜಗಳ ಆಡೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನಾರು ಬ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವ್ರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು
certainly ಈಗ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ they have seen, the government has seen all these kind of developments during these days. That's the reason they are appointing one nodal officer to these kind of centers. Wherever they take Kalyana Mandapa, schools, hostels and all those things, they appoint one nodal officer who will be the in charge of the place, and he will be responsible for all those things. And if something happens, they are certainly liable.
Okay.
ಆ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ there will not be any say that no problem in future for the owners of these properties.
Okay.
Hello.
ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು 2-3 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಮುರಳಿ ಶರ್ಮಾ ಅವರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಚೌಟ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ, ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್? ಸೊ ಡು ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್?
See, the right to object is always there. For that, the court, what it has said, it is for youth people to talk to the representatives of that area. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈಗ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟಾಕ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಅಂಡ್ if it is possible they can avoid such things. Otherwise the court cannot interfere ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನ yesterday they said to me personally. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ರೈಟ್ is concerned, you have the right, you can object, you can exercise that right by approaching the district authorities or the immediate authority. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅವರು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. all the precautions have to be taken. See, there was one more issue yesterday's case. We have argued another point that when they have made this arrangement for quarantining these persons in a chowtry or in school or whatever it is, in most of the cases they were allowed to use a common toilet. That common toilet has caused several problems. So that issue was raised. In such circumstances, the court said, yes, we will direct the government to see these kind of things and to take necessary steps to avoid. So like that, if you are a resident of the chowtry, nearby the chowtry or whatever it is, you can see these things. Say if someone is coming from outside and spitting on the road or something like that, immediately you can report to the concerned authority, and in such circumstances they are bound to take action.
Okay, thank you very much. We have 2 more questions on the chat window, please, and before that we have Ashwath Sampaja wants to ask a question.
Yes, please,
Ashwath.
ಹರೀಶ್ ಅಣ್ಣ, ಈಗ ನಾನೊಂದು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನೀಗ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಫೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರಣ ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಫೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಬಹುದು?
ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನೀವು ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಪಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ,
ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ even though there is a reasonable ground for not attending the class or for not appearing in the exam or not taking the required marks, the court cannot pass any person by its order.
Okay.
At most you will be given an opportunity to take one more exam. If it is already available, you can take. In some circumstances, due to these reasons, there will be a loss for the students. Those things can be directed to be given. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಈಗ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಅವ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 4 ಸಲ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹೌದು, ಅಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಅವನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವ್ನು 2 ಸಲ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. ಈಗ ಮೂರನೇ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಸರ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಹಿ ಕುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. Now he can take this as example or this as a reason and request the court to allow him to take the examination once again.
Okay. ಅಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗದೇ ಇದ್ದ ಕಾರಣದ
ಅದೇ ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ 75% ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ he will not be allowed to take the exam. Now by conducting the online classes they will give the attendance, but this gentleman could not get that attendance because of non-availability of internet.
Yes.
So that person can approach the court and say that this is the reason I could not take the class, therefore I should be allowed to sit in the exam. But he cannot say that I failed in the exam because of non-attending the classes, therefore I should be passed in that anta helik baradilla.
Okay, thank you.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಆಯ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಚಾಟ್ ವಿಂಡೋ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ Grishma. She is asking, what are the state tax law changes made currently? Any changes which has been made in the tax law?
See, the question itself is not answer the nature of the question.
Right.
See, but we have seen a big change in the what you say that TDS and TCS. They said that they will refund 25% of the TDS which have been already deducted. Likewise, there will be some tax exemptions for at least 2 to 3 years to cope up with this. Therefore, we can expect a lot of changes in the tax system, but they may give it in one way and they may take it in other way. But the only thing is that people have to pay money to run the government. So in one or other way, they will be taking and giving some concession in some places.
Okay, great. And one more question is regarding recent falls in electricity bills. Can we take a legal recourse?
Yeah, in this aspect, there are 2 things. One is, if bill is correct, you have to pay. Now the point is that the bill is not correct. That is what most of the people are telling. So for this, the BESCOM is giving 2 reasons. One is, you were at home, you used so many things and which has caused a rise in the bill. That is the one reason. So you cannot compare the previous bill and present month's bill. Second thing is that what people are alleging, that you have a slab system. For 1 month, earlier every month they were coming and they were reading the meter, but this time they did not come. Now after 2 months they came and they read they blindly they have taken the average and they put that amount. For that already the BESCOM has answered that you verify the slab and other things are the meter, and if that amount is less than what they have quoted or what they have stated in the bill, certainly those things can be verified. This clarity or this clarification has been given by the BESCOM. Despite that, if people are thinking that the bill they have charged heavily and illegally, that can be questioned by filing an appeal. There is a procedure where they can challenge this, and certainly they can put forth their arguments and points.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. I'm really sorry for that.
Okay.
I think that clarifies, Harishanna. There is one more question from Subramanya Shanbog. And to start with, he appreciates saying that awesome session. So that's the credit for you. And then if any foreign person of Indian origin has to come to India for urgent family reasons, can any help be provided in terms of approvals from government agencies or any, including NRI as well? So this is his question from the legal perspective.
See, as far as this point is concerned, the government recently has started one scheme where they are entertaining the people from all over the world to bring back to India. But if that person is not within this group, in future he wants to come, that is quite, we are not sure what kind of policy the government is going to make in future. But presently, if he is intending to come, there is a procedure which has been prescribed, and already they have they airlifted so many persons on the priority basis, because as everyone knows, from the day one of lockdown, the people are they were stranded there, and they wanted to come over to India, but they were made to wait for 55 days. So I don't think that in future whether they will have such facilities till these things are slowed down or something like that.
Okay, great. I think all the questions are answered. There are no more questions on chat window. But however, if there are any last one question, if anyone wants to ask, please go ahead. And if not, we can close the session.
I think one question was there from Prashant. Where do we go and get this legal advice other than going for Google or
Harish Kumar.
Facebook?
Harish Kumar MS.
No, I wanted to hear it from him.
No, I'm not. I cannot say so.
As a moderator, and I can arrange that. I can also look for some commission from Harish Kumar.
But you have to definitely go to the domain expert, see if it is labor related,
Yes, certainly.
Tax related, you have to go there.
Certainly.
This is something one should, choose.
Correct.
ಹಲೋ
Yes.
ನನ್ನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ PF ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿನ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೀಗ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಂಪನಿ ನಮಗೆ ಈಗ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು 3 ಮಂತ್ಸ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 6 ಮಂತ್ಸ್, ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 3 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 3 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಕಂಪನಿ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿಯಿಂದ? ರಿಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು?
ಅಲ್ಲ, I didn't get what is that.
I'll try to rephrase that question.
Okay.
I think Mr. Karthik is asking this question. So government has told they will pay that employer's contribution of PF for 3 months. There was some kind of notification, I believe, in the beginning which has come. That is what he is referring. So if that is coming, then as part of our CTC concept in most of the private companies, right, the employer's contribution to PF will also be deducted from our salary itself.
Okay.
Right. So now, if company is deducting our salary for MPF contribution, can I ask for that? Since it is coming from the government, why should you deduct from our salary?
Certainly, if they have got the benefit from the government, they are not supposed to deduct from the salary of the employee. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
So in such circumstances, you can question it, because it is the government which has given the benefit to the employee. Okay, but I doubt whether that facilities have been extended to all the companies. Hello.
Yeah.
So ಹೇಳಿ.
ಇದು ಅದೇ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ನವರ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ we have to see, and I think it is only for a considerable sector, not the all kind of companies employees, private companies employees. Adrinda, but however, if the government is going to bear that expenditure, means that they are going to pay that PF amount from the government side, the private companies are not supposed to deduct that from the employees account salary.
So ಅದು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ?
That you can file an application under the Right to Information Act, or if they are you have the PF account, and the amount from where it has come, that can also be verified, whether it is from your company or from the government, that can be verified. For that, you can file an application under the Right to Information Act to the concerned authority, seeking the particular information.
Okay.
Okay, I think that is answered. So we do not have any more questions. I think we have crossed 15 minutes at 08. So great session, Harishanna, and we have been waiting for to get the clarification. lot of questions that was in our mind. And if you want to say anything on the conclusion, you can conclude, and then I will take it forward.
Certainly, first of all I want to thank you and also your team for giving me this opportunity to say something about this topic. I think I have not done my duties properly. I may not explain you the things which you people were intending to know. Maybe in future, if one more chance is given and the questions are given earlier itself, I can go through that and I can tell you. Anyhow, I am very, very grateful to all the elders who have logged in and they heard me, and that has boosted my this one, and I'm really grateful to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you would have spent a lot of time to prepare for all these, because this is not as part of your regular activities.
Yeah.
And so you have spent. So thanks for that. Really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
And whatever you are thinking that you are not justified, but that is not the answer from all the participants over here. I can still see on the chat window, a lot of appreciations coming in for your kind of information what you have shared. So hats off to you. And now we have, there are people who can reach out to you in case if they have any questions, but I think that will be on chat basis anymore. Okay. So with that note, I would like to thank everyone, all the participants. We had, looking at the participation, we had around at one point of time 55, logins.
Okay.
So that would be looking at around close to 100 participation for sure, if I consider, minimum 2 in each of these groups or logins. I would like to, before we close, I would like to thank this month's sponsorer for all these events, PC Rao, and no introduction is required. And he has been our support for all these programs. And thank you very much for your kind support. And likewise, we have many other leaders or seniors in this group who are behind this success of these programs, who are saying that you need not be worried about the cost of this program or any kind of sponsorship. We are there. And to give and name one, MS Radhakrishna Rao, he has come forward and said that any month, if you see that there is no sponsors, you need not to look for anybody else but me. So that's the kind of the support what we are getting.
Great. I think it deserves a big round of applause.
All right. So, and at the same time, I would like to, use this opportunity to thank our chairman and secretary and all the board members of our Akhila Bharata Sthanika Brahmana Sabha Bangalore, because they are supporting us all the possible manner to conduct these programs. And I would like to also thank, the kind of pillars for this program to start, to initiate, that is Mr. B.K. Dhananjay Rao from Beltangadi and Devananda Rao Bedwai, because they are the ones who helped me to initiate this and take this forward along with our Career Development Committee of Bangalore. So I would like to acknowledge that as well. And with that note, I thank the entire team. That's more important. It is not me alone or one person like Rakesh or Prashant is working. There's a big team of around 15 of us who are working behind this. And as part of Udyoga Deepika programs or under this banner, you will see many more programs coming in, and we look forward support from all of you. Thank you very much, and good night and a good day for all of you. Thank you.
Round of applause to Udyoga Deepika, all committee members.
Thank you so much. Thank you.